wanted to start today by sharing kudos and congratulations for the great work of our faculty and staff across the state. Congratulations first to Ariel Crawley, our director of the Ivy Works program at the Indianapolis campus, for winning the Tech Educator of the Year Award at the Tech Point 20th Annual Mira Awards. Ariel was recognized for her work and partnership with Indie Women in Tech, or IWIT as we call it, which provides students with scholarships, professional development, and wraparound services, including daycare assistance. The program strives to combat systemic challenges that prevent many women from entering the state's tech workforce. I'm so excited that Ariel is with us today to share more about the IWIT program and her reactions to winning the Mira Award. Ariel, welcome.
Thank you. I am beyond honored to be chosen as the 2019 Tech Educator of the Year by the Mira Award. I love serving as the director of Ivy Works Indie Women in Tech. The program helps female students studying programs at Ivy Tech achieve their dreams of joining the growing tech workforce in Indiana. Ivy Tech has always served as an education leader, and I'm proud of the work we are doing. Through our partnership with Indie Women in Tech, we can offer scholarships, professional development, and wraparound services such as child care assistance. The program currently hosts 50 women. We will have 21 graduates at the end of the spring semester. We host a 90% retention rate and a 96% completion rate. Our graduates have gone on to start their careers at Infosys, Honda, and Apiro, and Ice Miller, to name a few. We also offer paid internships where students work at organizations such as the State of Indiana, Black Ink IT, and Sondi Solutions. The students work 20 hours a week and earn $20 an hour. The internships allow students to gain on-the-job training while still learning in the classroom and balancing family obligations. Thank you to the staff of Ivy Tech, in particular Central Indiana Service Area, for their continuous support.
Ariel, congratulations again, and thank you for your amazing work with all of our students. You know, you were one of 11 tech educators that were nominated for the Mira Award, or what we call the Oscars of Tech, yes. Right? With those Mira Awards, it's a big deal. So out of over 109 total applicants. So we are so proud of you, Ariel. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, and congratulations to the Bloomington, Indianapolis, and Kokomo campuses for being selected as the pilot locations for our Success Initiative. This partnership is with MDRC, the Success Initiative, or Scaling Up Community College Efforts for Student Success, which seeks to improve graduation rates for traditionally underserved students at community colleges. The program components include frequent proactive advising, financial incentives tied to service usage, strategies focused on increasing academic momentum, such as requiring full-time enrollment or encouraging summer or winter enrollment, and the use of real-time data to support student progress. Our 3 campuses are part of a larger group of community colleges that will implement in the fall of 2019. We look forward to seeing the campus plans develop and seeing them implement this at their campuses. Well, kudos also to our Lafayette campus for serving more than 650 families as part of their 2019 Volunteer Income Tax Assistance, or VITA, season. Because of their hard work, they saved an estimated $150,000 in tax prep costs and more than $1 million. That was a big deal to them, going over the $1 million mark in the federal and state refunds that were achieved. What a gift to those 650 families. And thank you to the Lafayette team for working with our accounting program students. This program provides invaluable real-world experience for our students and brings our communities closer together. I know we also have this VITA program across other campus communities. Thank you in all the parts of the state that we help our community members in this way. And lastly, congratulations to the marketing team for the great work on the implementation of their hub, which is now considered a closed hub project. This team has accomplished a number of tasks over the last several months. Just a few to highlight. They have hired, trained, and implemented the new Creative Services team. This team will provide creative support to campuses, serving as an internal marketing agency to meet our needs across the state. the establishment of the statewide marketing strategy team, which includes marketing leaders from across the state to collectively determine strategy and prioritize the marketing tactics of the college. And finally, implementing new processes and tools, such as a project tracking system, which is already improving the collaboration and communication across the college. Thank you to the marketing team for your countless hours, candid feedback, and focus on implementing the marketing hub. We know that as the operations continue to be established and grow, there'll be continued great work from this team. So, last summer, one of our adjunct faculty members and a retired Vice Chancellor of Academic Affairs, Ron Sloan, many of you will recall, was teaching a session of IVYT. The students in the class began discussing the challenges they faced as students and moms. So many students explained that being a single mom is both the reason they desired to come back to college and also the reason they could not. This class discussion shed some light on the important needs in our community college. How might we help single parents earn their credentials so that they can create a better life for themselves and their families? Last fall, Ivy Tech began working with community partners to find a solution so we could help single parents achieve their credentials. And then in November, we learned of a great opportunity, a design challenge to improve success for single moms in community colleges sponsored by a national nonprofit education design lab. The grant was directly in alignment with the work of our team and was going to help us help single parents earn their credentials. Turned out that 25 community colleges from across the country actually applied for this grant, and I'm so pleased to tell you that Ivy Tech is one of the 4 selected. Through the grant, a team of Ivy Tech employees from across the state, plus many of our community partners, will work together to figure ways to increase completion rates for our single moms. This work will take time, as the design process is actually 6 years in total, but 2 years in the creation of the design and then 4 years for implementation and scalability. The solution our team creates will be piloted on 4 campuses: Sellersburg, Muncie, Lafayette, and Indianapolis. Later, the design will be scaled to all the campuses. We are very fortunate today that we have 2 exceptional single mom students on our team, Maggie Rodriguez and Brianna McCart. And even more fortunate, they were able to join us today. Welcome, Maggie and Brianna, and thanks so much for your work on our team and for being our students. So, would you tell us a little bit about each of your families? Maggie?
Yeah, thank you for having me here. I have a son who's 12 years old, and I have a brother who's 15-year-old that I have guardianship over. So 2 nice, fun teenagers at home.
Well, very good. Thank you. Brianna, how about you?
I have a 3-year-old son and an almost 6-year-old daughter.
So I think many of us can remember what it was like having kids those ages. Some of us are out of that stage, but yes, you've got your hands full. So let me ask you a few questions. Can you tell us about some of the barriers single moms face coming back to college?
Yes, my biggest barrier was finding a balance in time and money, finding time to study, finding time to go to class, and finding time to go to my son's school activities, conferences, and appointments. I also had to find time to work because I still had to provide financially for my son.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest barriers were being able to afford childcare and maintain a steady job while still taking classes. Finding a support system both inside and outside of the college was also a big barrier for me. I also struggled to get involved on campus because I never knew what events my kids could go to or if I would be the only one bringing young children, so I would end up isolating myself a lot of the time.
Wow. So we're just starting on this project, but what do you think will be the impact of the work we're going to do to help these single moms?
The biggest impact I foresee is support. You never hear saying single moms have too much support. I think Ivy Tech will help provide that, whether it's an aspect of childcare, financial, or just keeping track of their college courses.
I believe this project will have a huge impact as well. I believe it will create a safe space for people who are battling the same obstacles to come together for not only for support but for resources as well. It will help mothers feel more confident and empowered, and most importantly, I believe this project can become a safety net for moms when they begin to second guess their ability to complete their educational goals.
Thank you. Well, tell me about the most important thing that you see or you experience that Ivy Tech has done to help you as a single mom work towards your educational goals.
For me, the online classes and the 8-week classes made a big difference. They have allowed me to take more than 12 credits per semester without feeling overwhelmed. Also, the federal work-study program was the biggest game changer for me. You're able to come work on campus where you're already at, and plus your supervisor understands, recognizes, and values that school is your top priority. I felt like I really began to grow personally and professionally when I became a federal work-study.
I also agree that the federal work-study was important. Being able to work on campus definitely made things easier for me. Knowing that I had a steady income and a flexible schedule to work on my classes made things easier. Also, because I waited until my kids were older to go back to school, I was worried that I wouldn't be able to get involved on campus, but Ivy Tech made sure that I had the opportunities to get involved. I was given opportunities to be involved behind the scenes as well as on campus by serving on committees and in leadership roles.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and being with us today, Maggie and Brianna. I look forward to working with you. I know this is an exciting project that we have going on, and looking forward to the great things we can do to help single moms. Thank you. Well, earlier this month you received an email from me regarding the Voice of the Customer Total Rewards and the Employee Experience. I've invited Jen Fisher, Associate Vice President for Employee Benefits, to talk with us today about the project and outcomes. Jen, welcome.
Thank you, Sue. The Systems Office Human Resources team continually evaluates our employee benefit programs for fit and effectiveness. What began as an inquiry into which benefit programs are really resonating with our employees evolved into a broader Voice of the Customer, or VOC, analysis to include professional development, hiring, onboarding, orientation, recognition, and insight into why our employees choose to work here and what keeps them here. I'm pleased to share a bit of the background on the project as well as a summary of the results. Last summer, my colleague Chris Butler and I traveled across the state, partnering with our statewide HR team to conduct VOC interviews. Employees from each of the 19 campuses, plus Systems Office, were interviewed representing a cross-section of full-time faculty, full-time hourly staff, and full-time administrative staff. The vast majority of the participants were in non-managerial roles. Because the original intent was benefits related, we met only with full-time employees. There was a substantial amount of feedback, as you can imagine, collected across a broad spectrum, and from that, key themes emerged, including benefits, communication, pay, environment, flexibility, the hiring process, mission, professional development, retirement, and time off. While the VOC project was not a strategic plan initiative, the responses and subsequent recommendations are very much in line with Goal 5. In fact, the Strategy 5.3 team, which is my team, was very excited to learn about the VOC feedback as it supported the launch of the Workplace Flexibility Policy earlier this year. The majority of the feedback was very positive. It affirms that Ivy Tech is a desirable place to work and a place where people can make a difference. Employees highly value the college's benefit program and retirement programs, as well as the amount of time off that they receive. But the feedback also indicated opportunities for improving the hiring process and strengthening efforts around communication, professional development, and employee recognition. The employee recommendations are being explored by the Goal 5 team as well as the statewide human resources team. The report, which includes the recommendations, can be found on My Ivy, and I would encourage you to review the full report. Updates will be posted on My Ivy as we move through the evaluation process.
Jen, thank you for giving us more background on the Voice of the Customer survey, and thanks to the HR team for identifying our strengths and those areas for us to improve. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Sue.
Well, we've certainly had a busy month preparing and hosting our HLC visits. I've invited Marcus Kolb, Associate Vice President for College Accreditation, Academic Quality, and Learning Assessment, to give us an update. Marcus, welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Elsperman. It's with great excitement that I'll take a moment and update you on our affirmation of accreditation process. The final campus visit to Lake County is taking place as we speak. All other visit-related activities concluded last Thursday on the campuses of Evansville, Sellersburg, Marion, and Michigan City. In a few hours, we can well and truly say the work is done. Now begins the waiting. The team suggested during their visit that their report was due to the Higher Learning Commission on April 29th. At that point, our commission liaison will read the report and suggest edits to the team, typically making sure that the report does not contradict itself in some way, given that it will be authored by 7 different people. Once those team edits are made, we will receive a draft of the report, and we will truly know how the visit went and what the anticipated outcome might be. Should we find errors of fact in the report, they got our enrollment size wrong or described us as a doctoral granting institution, for example, we will submit those to make changes in the draft. If not, we'll approve the draft, and then the draft must be approved by both the Higher Learning Commission Institutional Actions Council and the Higher Learning Commission Board of Trustees to be made formal and final. The report will describe how we fared in meeting all 21 core components of the 5 criteria we've been working with over the past few years, and will describe each core component as met with concerns, or does not meet. Met is obviously where we'd like to land on all 21 core components, and in the case of met with concerns, the institution may or may not be required to take some action. Additional reporting, participating in HLC training and development, or focus visits are some of the outcomes that might come from a met with concerns core component. Finally, does not meet will certainly require some institutional action, and a significant number of does not meet scores would jeopardize our status as an accredited institution. If the report is not to our liking, we have the opportunity to appeal the outcome to the Institutional Actions Council at the Higher Learning Commission. The appeal would allow us to enhance our case for meeting components the team did not believe we met. But here's the good news. As we've shared notes and experiences with our team internally, we believe we showed very strongly in the visit and in the written submissions. The campuses told our story beautifully as the team spread out across the state. In short, we feel good about a strong outcome for the college. As the team left to head out into the state on Tuesday, they left us with some general thoughts about the strengths and challenges they observed while visiting. While HLC policy does not allow the team to be too specific in what they say, they are allowed to give institutions a broad sense of what they learned over the 2 days of the visit. The team noted 4 areas of strength for the college. First, we listen well to and respond well to the needs of our communities. Second, we have an extraordinary team always focused on how we might solve problems. Third, there's a strong spirit of innovation and change at the college. And fourth, we communicate well, a surprise for an institution our size. Our challenge is, and it's reasonable to assume this is where we might see some met with concerns or even not met among the team findings, are using data to help us focus on the right initiatives among all of the things that we try. We have to continue to strive for the right balance between the need for uniformity as a single college and the autonomy of campuses within that college. And our culture of assessing learning must continue to expand, encompassing more courses, more programs, and more credentials. And so again, now we wait. No matter the final verdict, and I truly believe we'll be pleased with our results, we need to stop for a moment and pat ourselves on the back. The college has been working on getting ready for 3 years. Whether you read part of the argument, listened to a podcast, watched an update, participated in a mock visit, practiced answering questions, or even ended up in the room with a team member last week, everyone took pains to prepare, and everyone deserves some credit for our success. In particular, I'd like to recognize the folks that are going to be on this slide right here. And I'll pause for just a moment so you can take a close look at this list as they represent all 19 of our campuses. Many, many folks who made a contribution here. If you see a familiar name there, please take a moment when we're done here today or early next week and go and find them on your campus. Thank them. Congratulate them. It's the leadership of these folks right here that brought us much of the success we believe we're about to enjoy. And then pat yourselves on the back again, because you helped bring about that success as well. I want to thank you for your own personal work, and thank the folks on this slide for the contributions they made on behalf of all of us. So I hope to return to you next month with the results of the draft report and a strong sense of what happens next.
Well, and Marcus, on behalf of the entire college, let me thank you for your leadership across this process over this several-year period. The work we've done as a college to prepare for the visit has been tremendous, and it's been well worth the time and energy as we've learned tremendous things along the way. I look forward to the report and sharing the results with all of us at the college, and you especially as we go forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
So now I'm excited that I get to introduce a new team member, Linda Calvin, our new Workforce Alignment Vice President for Information Technology, who's able to join us today. Linda started at Ivy Tech just earlier this month, the 1st of April, and I've asked her to share more about her background and her thoughts on information technology, her role, the sector. So welcome, Linda.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I'm excited to be here at Ivy Tech and to participate in today's update. I grew up in Indiana, and I grew up in technology. I started as a systems operator back in the day where the Digital Equipment Corporation was the biggest competitor to IBM, and at a time when an MBA was the sexiest degree you could earn and a mobile phone was essentially a phone booth. Earning a degree in tech and working in tech was not glamorous, but just functional. Now, here we are in 2019, a time where many of us carry multiple mobile devices and have smart homes that turn on the lights and turn up the thermostat as soon as we approach our home. I have one of those. It's so awesome. Tech degrees and techies now have mighty celebrity. In my home state of Indiana, referred to some non-residents as the cornfield with lights, it has evolved into a tech hub. In 2016, Forbes called Indianapolis an emerging tech hub on the move. Indiana has been referred to as the Silicon Valley of the Midwest. We attract tech companies to our state by offering attractive, low cost of living and low business operational costs. So with our great Midwest hospitality and our beautiful state and all of these great things, how can we possibly be beat? Talent. We have big opportunities in this state, but we don't have enough talent in the pipeline to meet the demand for tech. And that's why I'm here at Ivy Tech. I believe Ivy Tech stands on the precipice of satisfying the insatiable demand for tech talent companies in Indiana need to innovate. While I would never deny the value of a 4-year program, I know that talent lies in the individual, and education breathes life into that talent. Companies in Indiana need people who are Java Jedis, who can build SaaS applications, architect digital solutions in CSS and HTML, and work in Scrum teams, not in 4 to 6 years, but now. Real knowledge, hands-on. That's what programs at Ivy Tech provide Indiana companies, talent right now. It's awesome. I have 20 years of experience working in the tech space. As a digital leader at Dow AgroSciences, which is now Corteva, as a leader architecting digital and IoT solutions for Stanley Black & Decker. I have been a communications leader, practiced law for the city of Indianapolis as a civil prosecutor.
So pause. You were a lawyer too. You are a lawyer too, and
I was a
well.
lawyer, and I am a lawyer. I know. Some people say
Very
that's
cool.
the dark side, but it's not. I swear. You know, I've been a featured speaker on digital and regulated environments for Marion County and the American Bar Associations. And I'm a certified Scrum Master, which means I've schooled in the ways of the force of developing software. I had to get my Star Wars. I had to get that in there. I have worn and continue to wear many hats, and I do believe it's this diversity of experience that can serve our faculty and our students well. Ivy Tech plays a critical role in the growth of technology in Indiana by providing a robust pipeline of tech talent, and I want to be a part of that engine behind that pipeline. I am so geeked to be here and be part of the solution to meet Indiana's tech demand. Thank you so much for having me.
Linda, we're so glad to have you here, and I'm so glad that everyone could get to meet you. Hopefully you'll get to meet many of our Ivy Tech faculty, staff, students in your time here, but serving our tech industry is a big job. So thank you for being willing to take that on. Thank you for being so well prepared, and we look forward to the many months and years ahead.
Thank you.
So thank you for joining our Ivy Tech work that we do here. And now that I wrap up another President's Update, we've got the HLC visit behind us, and we'll continue to work forward. We also are, as many know, working closely with my cabinet on our systems office restructure. We do expect to be able to make announcements on that by the end of May. And then finally, let me just, as I close, say thank you to our amazing faculty and staff who In the next few weeks, we'll be helping our students through finals and participation in commencements. Commencement season is truly amazing at Ivy Tech, where we get to see the fruits of the work that we've done and see so many of our great students cross that line. So I hope that many of you will join me in coming out to a campus commencement in wherever you are in the state. Now, the last thing, mark your calendars for the May President's Update, which will be Wednesday, May 22nd at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yes, that has changed from Friday, but going into the Memorial Day holiday, we thought we should move it up a couple days to accommodate vacations. With that, have a great weekend, and thank you for joining us today.